Welcome back to my channel, everybody. I hope all of you guys are having a great day so far. This is your fourth stimulus check update and daily news report. So before we get into the video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and give this video a like if you support the fourth stimulus check of $1,000 a month. Now, the group of 10 bipartisan infrastructure negotiators was already having trouble coming up with ways to pay for nearly $600 billion in planned new spending. But Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, setting a deadline for a key test vote on their bill, turned up the heat and pressure significantly. ABC News has learned that one of the key components the negotiators had been relying on to finance the package, which is a boost in IRS tax enforcement to go after unpaid taxes, is now left out, leaving negotiators scrambling to come up with a replacement for a proposal that was expected to generate around $100 billion in estimated revenue to help offset the $579 billion in new spending in legislation. Negotiators, folks, said they plan to work out through this weekend. Lawmakers will continue to work with President Biden's infrastructure package until it is officially passed through Congress.
How much do you plan to get from that each month? Years ago, the Social Security Administration sent us regular updates on our estimated future benefits, which change all the time because the amount is based on the 35 years in which you earn the most.
But still, millions of Americans agree that a fourth round of stimulus checks should be sent out first. Do you folks agree with the need for a fourth stimulus check? Leave a comment down below saying yes or no. If you do, then be sure to give this video a like. Now, to protect against inflation and monitor the stability of the economy, the U.S. Department of Labor tracks an indicator called the Consumer Price Index. The CPI measures the change in prices paid by consumers for goods and services. As the economy reopens and markets find their equilibrium, many shoppers have reported paying higher prices for basic goods. The Bureau of Labor Statistics, which calculates the CPI, has released the June data showing that consumers pay around 2.4% more for food and almost 5% more for apparel than their levels a year ago. About 60 million American kids will receive their first monthly child tax credit payment under the Democrats' expansion of the program. But the new policy also offers an opportunity for parents and non-parents to receive crisis stimulus payments that they were eligible for but missed out on. These individuals would be eligible for all three stimulus checks, amounting to $3,200 in federal relief. Senior administration officials confirmed it in a call with reporters on Wednesday evening. The expanded child tax credit is significant in part because parents with no tax obligations are able to tap into the benefit. It previously excluded families who didn't earn enough to file taxes, thus cutting out many of the country's poorest parents. This is also the first time the government has delivered the child benefit through monthly checks, rather than a lump sum collected annually. The payments will stretch from July to December. Most parents, though, are eligible for the child tax credit automatically, and they're set to receive automatic monthly payments via direct deposit or a check in the mail. But non-tax filers must sign up for the payments through a new online portal specifically geared to enroll people generally outside the tax system. And another relief program is coming to end. New York, California, Oregon, and Washington State have implemented a host of rental assistance programs and extended their moratoriums 2 months past the CDC's July 31st cutoff over the past month. In addition, states like New York and California, and more than a dozen cities, such as Cleveland, Ohio, have implemented the right to counsel programs, which ensure tenants have legal representation when faced with an eviction. California's recent bill, for instance, also gives landlords rent debt relief and requires owners to seek rental assistance and give eligible tenants the opportunity to seek assistance before eviction. But states like Mississippi and Wyoming, for instance, have spent a small amount, 1 to 3% in fact, of their rent assistance dollars from the federal government, experts say. Both states and more than 24 others have no statewide eviction moratoriums in place. The national moratorium, which was implemented to encourage self-isolation, has been extended 4 times and repeatedly challenged in several courts by groups representing landlords. Recently, the Supreme Court declined to lift a ban on evictions after the moratorium was challenged by the Alabama Association of Realtors. Experts and advocates said many localities are bracing for what could be an avalanche of eviction cases, with some states and cities extending the moratoriums or expanding access to rental assistance programs, while other areas struggle to dole out aid because of bureaucratic hurdles and some landlords refusing to participate. What do you think about this, everybody? Should the federal eviction ban remain? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. As always, folks, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, have a great day and stay safe.
It turns out what you don't know about Social Security could wind up costing you tens of thousands of dollars in retirement income. Here with more information now is Stephanie Asimko. Stephanie, what can you tell us?
So the majority of Americans are very confused about Social Security benefits and when they kick in and what they entail. And all of this confusion can really jeopardize the financial security in retirement. So the magic age that people tend to have in their heads is 65 for full benefit eligibility. And for some people, that's off by as much as 2 years. So depending on the year you were born, benefits kick in at either 66 or 67 years old. And you can still file early, but that means you run the risk of leaving money on the table. So if someone files just 2 years early, that translates to more than $50,000 in lost income if a retirement stretches, say, 20 years. So another key element that trips people up is when survivor benefits kick in. We don't like to talk about it, but it is a fact of life.
Wow, we appreciate that. Give her a hand. You have so many balls to juggle and what's going on, and the elephant in the room and what you're dealing with is the big infrastructure bill.
Yeah.
How are negotiations going on with
Well, the infrastructure bill is going well, the bipartisan bill. But let me just say this. What is in this bill is what we could agree to as infrastructure. But frankly, it's an old view of infrastructure. It's what we might have done 35 years ago. Roads, bridges, mass transit, to a certain extent, not as much as I would like, but nonetheless a good number. But it isn't about well, it has broadband in it, so that's one future issue, priority that is there. But quite frankly, for our obligation to our children, we have to have a greener infrastructure bill. We cannot have something that is of the past. And so that involves tax credit, and the greening part of it is about a 4-letter word: jobs, 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 jobs. And we have to think of it that way. And we can't just say, well, we're beholden to certain industries in our country, so let's bring everybody together.
Yes.
Let's bring everybody together, everybody at the table, whether it's business and labor, environmentalists, people of faith, scientists, venture capitalists, farmers, our ag community, so important to protecting our country, because as you see, we have droughts, we have fires, we have floods, we have natural disasters.